I'm going to just say, if you're not doing at least 20 to 25K behind the chair by yourself, do not go open a salon. Do not do it.
Welcome to Brand Talk with Rachel and Drew. I'm Drew.
I'm Rachel.
Welcome to the show. We have been out and at it, having babies, making babies.
We weren't making babies.
You made a baby.
But we weren't making. I actually need to take these out.
Supportive.
I'm just realizing that I left my ice packs in.
Ice packs.
And you have a smiley face sticker on your hand.
I do.
For going potty with Hendrix.
I was gonna put it on my lapel, and he said, "No, Daddy, on your hand." So that was there from Hendrix. So we're back, y'all. We're here talking about
against my will.
Exactly. You don't want to be here?
No, I'm glad I'm here. I'm just...
No.
It just feels weird being here because I'm looking at your laptop and it says June 5th. And I was supposed to have a baby yesterday, but I actually had a baby on May 31st.
He was early.
So, yeah. I'm here.
How you doing?
And then I'm going to the doctor for my post.
This is your first episode back not pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she will never be pregnant again.
Yep.
We have 300 kids. So we're not really 5.
No, we have 5, but
there's 300 conversations happening.
Yeah, if you think Drew should get a vasectomy, comment below.
I think Drew should get a vasectomy.
I've been through enough lately. It's your turn. It's your turn.
We are too fertile. I know she said that. I was like,
welcome to Brand Talk with Myrtle and Drew.
Myrtle fertile. Myrtle fertile. But there's she's like, I've done enough. And I was like, just checkmate. Like what do you I've done enough. And I was like, I was there.
I love that you're still leaving the smiley face sticker on your hand.
Yeah. It's gonna be there.
Okay.
That's what we're doing today. So we're pretty tired, but we're here. New baby.
He's actually sleeping pretty good. He's sleeping pretty good. So breastfeeding for the win,
Yeah, breastfeeding. You're doing good with that.
Thank you.
That's really difficult to do.
Yeah.
Breastfeed.
You're
fellas, gentlemen.
Well, I was telling Drew literally an hour after I had the baby, they're like, okay, time to get up, go to the bathroom. You're just, and they have all the stuff, you're just cleaning up everything by yourself. Like no one's there to do anything for you. Yeah. So yeah, that's what, it was a pretty easy delivery. I have no complaints. So.
Do you like the setup?
Yeah, I do.
Pretty cool, huh?
I think it's cool.
Welcome to the show. And I feel like I need papers to shuffle. And we need to discuss.
Well, we're about to ruffle some feathers with what we were talking about today.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to get into is just some challenges and problems that we're seeing in the salon space. And we're really here for the salon owner. But oftentimes, if you guys have multiple businesses at home, it's very similar stuff. Like the games are very similar in scaling a company or getting the systems dialed in and things like that. So what is it that you had in mind today?
Well, I think it's important that regardless of how you feel, you have to take action and you have to do the things that you need to do. And I think it's, this came up yesterday or whatever it was, 2 days ago. I was going to Salada to get this salad place nearby. And I had Evan in the front seat with me. And I was like, hey, your dad wants you to go to CrossFit with him later. And he's like, what's that? And I was explaining to him what it was. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, where you lift? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, I'm not very good at lifting. I said, well, how do you get good at something? He's like, by doing it. And I'm like, exactly. So, that's the thing that I wanted to kind of talk about today is what are the things that you need to do to get better at the thing that you're not good at or the thing that makes you uncomfortable? And I think this is a really good segue off of last week's episode for you guys because regarding finances, because that is the number one pain point of business owners that leads them to getting on a call or, filing bankruptcy or closing the doors of their salon, not making payroll, which also can lead to issues at home, like where you're fighting over money with your spouse. I mean, you and your spouse get divorced and it's just there's so many, money is the root of all evil, right? That's what it has been said, but it's also the biggest thing that will tear any relationship or any business apart, even a business relationship. So it's important that you guys really get serious about building a business and not just fucking off and being a hairstylist. He just has a lease. Woo, you signed a lease. That's like saying you're a homeowner when you like rent an apartment. Like you're not really a homeowner, just rent an apartment.
And I think there's something to think about there, because if you're the top earner, the top performer in what you're doing, and like it's you, like you go in and you're bringing in 10, 15K a month, and you're booked and you're busy and you got the best clients and you are the go-to
Honestly, that's
gal.
not even that much. It's really not.
And you're just doing it. Like it's all you, right? And then now your team has to compete with the founder of the location. So you've built the whole mechanism, the whole machine, the whole engine, and they got to compete with you. Like how are they? They're not going to be able to. Like they're just not going to get there.
I'm going to just say, like, if you're not doing at least 20 to 25K behind the chair by yourself, do not go open a salon. Do not do it, because you cannot, like, you're not setting yourself up for success. You're also not setting your future team up for success, because you can't, if you're only doing 8 to 10K a month, and that might be a lot to you. It might be a lot, right? Like you're going to have different levels of like milestones that you're going to hit. But like there's some people that book calls. They're like, their income's $3,000 to $5,000 a month, and I'm like, like not a good fit. Like you're not in a good spot to build a brand. Like you got to build yourself first.
But we also don't mean that in like a nasty way.
No, not at all.
It's the cart before the horse situation. So there's a sequence to scaling up a salon to do what it needs to do, and then once you scale it, the amount of management that you have to do on that, the amount of support and development and nurturing and leadership, there's a lot to do when the salon is doing a couple million a year. And if you're trying to hold that line or push that line, I'd arguably say it's almost more difficult than getting the salon to do its first $30,000, because there's more responsibility, there's more clients, there's more good stuff, there's more money, there's more complaints, there's more refunds, there's more reschedules, there's more people, there's more hiring, firing, everything. There's more, right? Yeah.
So what I mean, like, just to kind of expand on what I was saying, like, it's important that when you are like, there's of course like scaling a stylist, right? And I would say if your income is between $3,000 and $5,000, or I mean anything honestly under $20,000 a month, you yourself as a stylist, you doing the hairs, okay, like, getting you to scale up to the 20K mark before you then go sign this like big girl lease. And this is why, because as you expand, right, your business, you have to have enough business behind your chair, your own chair, to be able to also spread out across the salon. You're also going to have to make sure that you have actually dialed in like what it is to be a successful stylist. That is extremely important, because if your new business model is training people to be successful stylists, and you aren't exactly like you're doing great, you're on your way there, right? You know how to be a successful stylist, but you haven't scaled beyond that. That is not, again, like Drew was saying, that's like putting the cart before the horse. You're kind of prematurely jumping off a cliff without knowing if you even have a parachute in your backpack. So it's important that, like if salon ownership is on your radar, which I would imagine it is if you're listening to this and watching this, that's amazing. But the income's way lower, right? Like maybe halfway there, like really pouring into like high level skills, such as extensions, such as luxury lived in color, such as training your first assistant. That's where you need to be, right? And then like educating yourself on business basics. And then obviously open the salon, do the lease thing and that kind of thing. Because every bank in the whole freaking universe is going to look and see, okay, what is she capable of doing on her own? Because if you have this new business idea, which is a new salon, that is like hypothetical, like there's no data, there's no numbers, there's no schedule, there's no track record of that even being a thing. What there is a track record of is you being a thing as a stylist. They're going to look at that data and they're going to determine, okay, do I want to lend to her or do I not? Right. And that's the determining factor as to if you even get funding. I see a lot of people sign leases before they even have their money lined up. Not a good situation.
Super scary, super risky. And risk.
Oh my gosh.
Risk is good. You got to take risk to get to the next level. Like you have to squeeze your ability, your skill set has to grow. You have to do that. But there's a way to do that responsibly. It is risky, but it's also risky like not doing it. Like everything is risky. It's risky driving to the gas station. It's risky getting out of bed. Like the goal is not to avoid risk. The goal is to understand the game and the rules. There's rules to the game, and there are things you want to do. There are routes you need to run in the game, like marketing and things like that. Like, it would not hurt for salon owners to take a full day and just crank out media for the whole day and just make stuff. And then it'll get better and better and better. It doesn't need to be like a polished full show, but behind the scenes stuff, like no one's doing that.
Honestly, a lot of the organic meaning non-produced, non-set stuff is actually going to perform better.
Yep.
It performs better for us. And
we're going to shoot ads later today, and I think we're just going to use the iPhone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, you have the best phone in the history of the world right now, right? Which is the latest, greatest iPhone. So it's like, use that. But like Drew was saying, the responsibility, I think that is something that is very overlooked, where salon owners, hairstylists become salon owners, right? Because they sign a lease, and yet they don't actually level up their level of responsibility. They don't realize that they have more responsibility. There's more people counting on them. This has to work, right? And that alone is the missing piece for a lot of people, which is why I believe that a lot of salons fail in the first year or two. A lot of salons don't renew their lease because they can't afford to, or they're like, to hell with this, I'm done. And then it also leads to a lot of people having walkouts, because you've got somebody who is in position, in a leadership position, who is not leading, right? And there's a lot of responsibility, and I will say, I mean, and as I've said in numerous episodes, like, you're not gonna get it right the first time. Like, I didn't get it right the first time, the second time, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna make mistakes. That's okay. But being coachable, being willing to like have hard conversations and have other people, and also apologize to your team. I mean, in the very beginning years, I apologized quite a bit, honestly. It's important that you just try to handle it with as much care as possible, and that you're responsible with your actions, because there's a lot of people that are affected by your actions.
Yeah. So that being said, opening a second location won't solve the challenges that most salon owners are having with their single location. It will create an infinite amount more problems. So we'll leave you with that short, quick one today. We're back. Rachel's back. And
you can get one more out of me, and then I got to go to the doctor.
All right.
But I do want to say, click the link in the description below if you want to join the Salon Owner Club. That's an amazing place to start. It's a free place to start. If you are, looking into opening your first salon, expanding, into another location, or you're currently a salon owner and you're just like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Great place to go. Got great resources, great calls that you can plug into each month, and a great community where you can ask lots of questions. Drew's in there. I'm in there. I answer questions all the time, every morning. But yeah, we'll pop that link in the description below. And thanks you guys for listening and watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.
See you later.